and go across to Ben Healy in this next climb.
It's bold, though, isn't it, going this far out?
But he does this all the time. He's done it to success in other races. This is what Ben Healy does. This is his makeup. We said of all the riders, he's going to be the first to attack, right? That wasn't rocket. I thought it would be on maybe over the top of the next climb, not this climb, that descent before. So he's doing what we thought he would do just a little bit earlier. But when we hear Jens, yes, the wind direction, it's not overly strong. It's like 8 to 10 kilometres an hour. But we are predominantly in a headwind all the way in towards the finish now.
We are indeed heading to Via Normandie today, starting in Bayeux. And our breakaway group, Ben Healy sitting 33rd on the general classification at 7 minutes and 37 seconds behind Tadej Pogacar.
The only thing I can think of is he even wanted to surprise us, because if the team cars are listening to our commentary and he said he's going to go at this particular point, he's gone early just to surprise the surprise.
I think we'd always love to feel that they're listening to us in the car. I don't think they ever are. The Irishman, twice national champ, is holding 48 seconds to the group behind. And he's making the most of, we were talking earlier on about the cards that you get for the stage. He's making the most of his aero road bars there with a full profile along his bars.
Yeah, look, he's staying in that position. That's very similar. You know, this is a position you can't rest your elbow. This is as close you can get to, you know, a time trial position. So he is resting his arms, but he's connected to his levers because they're slightly bent in. So he's got all that working for him. He's getting closer to the climb. I still think he needs around about a minute to stay away. But the next thing is who's going to join him in the front.
Let's have the UAE team car.
I'm done for the race.
That was Niels.
It was. I was going to say Niels Pollitt. He's done to the right. When that comes up, that's the riders talking. But fair play. I mean, they're incredible riders. The Niels Pollitts of this world that can spend 150k, maybe more on the front, controlling the breakaway.
I tell you what, Marty, I'll let you do the comms for the rest because I'm done for the day. You don't do that in any other job.
That's it.
You don't do that in any other. I'm done for the day. No, yeah, I can totally understand. What I learned in the past is you stay on the front. Even if you're done for the day, you stay on the front. When a team looks up and sees the whole team at the front, that's very impressive. So if you're suffering, you don't just drift back into the back of the peloton. You stay at the front. That's what I was taught.
I'd say he's only gone about 10 riders back at the moment. I think it looked like it from the helicopter. Maybe he'll just go back, have a spot of lunch, and knowing what Niels Pollitt is like, imagine he'll be back up here if he feels a bit like he's recovering. Our leader into the next town as we head towards our climb up to our summit. This is the next climb of the day, the Côte du Saint-Michel du Montjuïc, and it's 3.7 kilometers in length, averaging 4.5%. And Ben Healy of EF Education Easy Post is searching for a stage win. 49 seconds is the gap. This is our penultimate categorized climb of the day. It is King of the Mountains climb number 5. It is the final of our category 3 climbs along the route.
Did I just see Eddie Dunbar look at a window and check his position out there?
If in doubt, check it out. You know, you just got to take the moment, check out the gun show in the window, haven't you?
Right, now then, who's going to take this up? Because, you know, it's getting too close to that kind of minute mark. As expected, Mathieu van der Poel be kind of forced into it a little bit more than the others.
They fought so hard for it. If the stage wins just heading away here, and Quinn Simmons, it looks like, is going to take it up. It looks like that might be Harold Tejada's time done in the perhaps in the breakaway here. He's starting to struggle, the XDS Astana rider, but Quinn Simmons takes it up on the front.
Yes, of course.
Tejada
okay, thank you.
fighting here, staying in this one. We've still got 2.4k to go to the top. Get a little bit of respite here for our group. Quinn Simmons just as well. First rider from this chasing group to go. Yates missing a turn.
Yeah,
Maybe he's
he's starting to feel it. I think Dunbar, Tejada not reacting to it. So that was just a strong pull there. Mathieu van der Poel, well, again, he's been leaned on. He knows he has to kind of keep this going because I said right from the start, I think Mathieu van der Poel was up against this. And now this is what they can't afford. They're just starting to look at each other now. Who's going to pull? Who's ducking and diving? They all need to commit to this if they want a chance of winning the stage, because they all know that, you know, Quinn Simmons has already shown his cards. Someone else is going to have to go, because as soon as Ben Healy hits the minute mark, then he's got a good chance of pulling this one off.
As indeed, the peloton are at 5 minutes and 19 seconds. Quinn Simmons launches another move, and it is a big one. As Will Bartup takes after him here for Movistar. Van der Poel just momentarily sits back. Simon Yates takes it up for Visma Lease bike. I feel Van der Poel is just using them at the moment, perhaps playing with them. I think he's going to be the next one to go and perhaps try and close this gap to Healy on his own.
Well, that's if he wants to win the stage. You know, Storer is going across to Quinn Simmons. This is now interesting. If these two get together, which looks as if they will, then they've got a chance. So that little moment of hesitation in the attacks, it's meant that it's down to one. Look at Mathieu van der Poel. He's just setting a rhythm. I think if he had something more, he would have joined Simmons in front, because I think he recognises that Simmons is on a good day today, because it's the two riders are highlighted that, you know, way early on in this race. The two riders of the day were Quinn Simmons and Ben Healy, and both of them still up here at the pointy end.
Michael Storer, 28 years old. 2 stages in the Vuelta in his career. It's already out stages in GC as well. He's been 10th on GC in the Giro in his career. 9 career wins for him. But Ben Healy's gap, 52 seconds. He's got 1.1 kilometers to go to the summit of the climb. But as this goes on, if he can start to nudge that gap to a minute, an excess of a minute, the Irishman will start to believe that he can take this one all the way to the finish. Simmons and Storer together. The US national champion for Lidl Trek, like Healy, knew that he was on a good day today. And he's been in multiple breakaways so far today. The helicopter just panning back here to the group now of Mathieu van der Poel. The peloton are at 5:32 to our leader. Mathieu van der Poel starting the day at 1:28 on general classification. But Simmons, so strong today, Captain America. He's going to need Michael Storer's full power here to get across to Ben Healy, but the two of them opening up here now, Brian, 20 seconds over the group of Van der Poel.
Yeah, I think this could be, you know, the scenario now. Great ride so far by Ben Healy, but it's now 2 against 1. And this is what they're waiting for. 2 or 3 riders, I said. 3 riders would have been better because you can share the workload, but this has to be full commitment from Quinn Simmons and Michael Storer. It's 49 seconds. If they have got, you know, that communication between them, because in this scenario you have to say, well, we're fighting for second and third here. So the only way that we're going to get a stage win is if we get across to Ben Healy, and we have to commit as equal as each other. So there's still 27 kilometres to go, but I've just got that feeling that Ben Healy might be taking this one.
Is he looking good? The summit of the Category 3 climb goes to the Irishman, but it's the stage win that Ben Healy is chasing here. Listen to the roar. Look at the size of the crowds who have come out here in force today, and it is the Irishman that's chasing his first Tour de France stage victory. Behind him, it is US national champion Quinn Simmons and Michael Storer, who sit at 50 seconds. It's a minute 17 now. Back to Mathieu van der Poel, the big outright favourite for the stage today, but also here looking and riding himself back into the yellow jersey of race leader in this Tour de France. Simmons looks strong there, Brian, Quinn Simmons, but they're going to need full commitment here. It's still going to be a tall order to pull back Ben Healy.
Yeah, I think it is. It's going to be very difficult, and you know, he's ridden super well today, targeted this stage, and you know, hasn't kind of really missed anything. But I think for Mathieu van der Poel, it was always going to be a big task for him. You know, big target on his back. You know, he's thought about yellow more than the stage win. It's just become too big a task. Simon Yates here, they're still all together, but I think the firepower is up the road. It was on this climb. If you had the legs, you had to do something. We come over the top now. It did come down to 45. Now it's up to 53, 52. Storer and Quinn Simmons, what have they got against this man here?
So we've got some decent descending. We've got a little kicker that comes with around 12.8 kilometers to go, and we will start our final categorized climb with around 5.5 kilometers to go. But Ben Healy, is he going to take his first stage of the Tour de France?
Nutline. Cumpără Nutline și poți câștiga 100 de euro pe oră sau marele premiu, 10.000 de euro. Înscrie-te pe nutline.ro și relaxează-te. Ai de câștigat!
When you invest with eToro, you start seeing investors everywhere.
You see, eToro really is everywhere.
Invest anytime, anywhere with eToro.
We are the ones who wake up at dawn. We are the ones who prepare obsessively. We are the ones who always add an extra kilometer, never less. We are the ones who conquer impossible hills. We are the ones who, following one ride, eagerly dive into the next. We are Imatra. Introducing the first ever native digital accounting coin, created especially for cyclists. Get the Imatra app and earn money for every kilometer. Imatra is Garmin connected.
Got a bike? Then it's ready to Zwift. Just grab a Zwift Ready trainer with Zwift Cog. It's ready for everyone, even this guy. Zwift Ready trainers with Zwift Cog. Ready to ride and ready to Zwift.
They're cracking ahead. This is your chance. Take it. This is what we train for. Now show them who you are.
Storer, well, is stagnant at 52, 53 seconds. Where are they going to find that? Because it looks as if Ben Healy is riding as strong as they are riding behind. So I can't see any other scenario, Marty, that Ben Healy, the Irishman, is going to win the stage.
Healy, full commitment, as you can imagine here. You can see how much prep had gone into an attempt at a breakaway today for Healy. Hand up, looking for his team car. His gap is almost a minute here. So the car will come up to him. We'll have the car behind. Here he comes up to him. So Charlie Wagalis and Andreas Clear are the two director sportifs for the EF Education Easy Post. And celebrating Leclerc, the supermarket, and the 50 years of the Maillot à Pois, so the King of the Mountains jersey. There's a shower for Ben Healy at the front.
It's always difficult to do that. It's always difficult to do that. You're probably better squirting it.
It is stage 6 of the Tour de France, and Ben Healy of EF Education Easy Post solo here. 54 seconds he is holding over the chasing group behind, which contains the Maillot Jaune virtual on the road in Mathieu van der Poel. The yellow jersey going into today, Tadej Pogacar leading Remco Evenepoel by 42 seconds. Kevin Vauquelin third at 59 seconds. Jonas Vingegaard at 1:13 in fourth position. Mathieu van der Poel said at the beginning of the day that a stage win and trying to get back into the yellow jersey was his objective of the day. Breakaway, sprint, the scenarios that were bandied around at the start of today all said Mathieu van der Poel would be a favourite for the stage. If it came down to a sprint, Tadej Pogacar as well. We've been loving the explosive finishes between Van der Poel and Pogacar throughout the season and in this year's Tour de France. But this man here has had other ideas throughout the stage today. Ben Healy was totally focused on getting into the breakaway group and going for the stage win today. And the EF Education Easy Post team, this is the perfect scenario for them. And Ben Healy, you got to say, Brian, you know, he's one of those riders as well that's kind of blazed his own trail to the top of pro cycling.
No, he definitely has. I was just looking at the current situation there. Evenepoel started at 42 seconds behind, so that would mean that 6:55 sitting at it. He needs 55 seconds to take that white jersey.
Come on. You're super strong, super strong. Come on.
We love a come on, on the radio.
Yeah,
come on, Here we go, Michael Storer.
It's not happening for them, not happening at all. They can come on as much as they like, but you know, the surprise going with just over 42 kilometers to go, and it's not just going there, it's the way he went. He just went poof and he was gone. And Simon Yates was in the front and he was like, just what happened there? You know what I mean? This he just shot off the front and gave nobody any chance of getting on the wheel. And we know that this is what he does. This is what he's got in his locker. So it was no surprise he was going to go at some point. But to go there, take some balls, and we know he's got plenty of that. And it's just everything, the whole makeup, you know, from the socks, the position, the helmet, the way he's riding now. He's riding not only to the stage win, but if he can push it out a little bit more, he could have a white jersey as well.
And that would be some ride. He's known for his daring attacks, and it doesn't come more daring than this. Ben Healy, the Irish rider, is charging a clear, and 105. He is taking time on that chasing group, that chasing duo of Quinn Simmons and Michael Storer, and they are full sails to the wind as well behind them. 140 to Mathieu van der Poel's group, who is having to lead this group. Harold Tejada, Simon Yates, Eddie Dunbar and Will Barter, that chasing group. Then 6 minutes and 9 seconds to the group of the Maillot Jaune, 114 riders, it probably is now, without Niels Pollitt in that chasing group behind. But this group, when you looked at the makeup of this group, and they know what Ben Healy's like, and it was the way he just read that road. It was opportunistic. It was almost, you could see, instinctive in the way that he launched it. Just looked for that launch pad that he needed, and it's where everyone in how Ben Healy approaches racing it's when everyone is least expecting it is when he does exactly what they're expecting him to do.
No, it's been a cracking stage. It's not finished yet. Potentially, we just need another 45 seconds for Ben Healy, 44 seconds. Potentially, this stage, all jerseys could be changing hands.
Indeed. So Ben Healy currently 13th in the Best Young Riders classification. Remco Evenepoel leading that competition. So Ben Healy 3 minutes and 36 seconds behind Remco Evenepoel in that white jersey. Brian's the mathematician of the duo, so I'm going to, I will get the, I'll keep that. We'll keep that up to date and what's going on. I'm going to correct that. So he's at 6:55. Sorry, I was looking at my wrong column there, Brian. Brian's just given me a punch in my arm. So Ben Healy 6:55 in 9th position. So yeah, Brian will keep an eye on the on our maths there. So we're keeping a close eye on your top screen for you fans there. 6:11 at the moment. So some time to make up. The team of the DS alongside Mathieu van der Poel. Starting the day at 1 minute and 28. There's our duo of chasers in the top of your screen. Quinn Simmons and Michael Storer. But what a day this has been in the Tour de France. 201.5 kilometers, 5.2 kilometers of neutral. And just a little chat here alongside Mathieu van der Poel. What does he do now? Has he just got to be content that he's riding towards the yellow jersey? Is there anything that he can do now at 1 minute 49?
No, he's just committed to yellow now. Take it by as much as he can. If he takes it by this sort of margin, then you have to consider that he could possibly take it all the way to the to rest day. Big ask, but possibly. But then again, you've got the others, and you have to try and encourage. And I think that's why they were trying to give bottles and kind of help this other, the other riders in the group there, because they need them to roll through, of course.
In the way they can approach the race.
Yeah, you'd assume that Richard Carapaz would be up there in the general classification. Would Ben Healy be given a chance? I think he still would have been given that chance, but look at the headwind he's riding into. No way this is easier for him. No way into a headwind. Doesn't matter how aero he is. When you've got multiple riders behind, surely they're getting a bit of a rest from time to time. They should be able to, but it just goes to show you that 1.5 minutes now, and he's only 30 seconds away from the white jersey. Be interesting to see if Remco Evenepoel wants to keep a hold of that jersey or not.
It'd be great to see Ben Healy in the white jersey if he can take the win in this and pull back and get into that white jersey as the best young rider. What a rider. 15 kilometers to go for Ben Healy, and he is just taking time on everyone behind him. 1 minute and 30 seconds to the chasers of Quinn Simmons and Michael Storer. 1 minute and 56 seconds to the group of Mathieu van der Poel, the big favourite for today's stage. 6 minutes and 25 seconds to the peloton. If they start to ease up within the final 10 kilometers, knowing that the stage and yellow jersey are going, can Ben Healy pull out enough time, as Brian Smith said, to ride himself into the white jersey as the best young rider in this year's Tour de France?
And I think, Marty, just talking about the white jersey, I think we're in a 50th anniversary for that one as well, because in 1975 starts the year that Bernard Thévenet beat Merckx they had three major changes. One was the King of the Mountains jersey, the polka dot jersey. One was the finish in the Champs-Élysées, and I think the third one was the introduction of the Best Young Riders jersey, the white jersey.
Yeah, and it's always been one of the most interesting competitions to watch, isn't it? The white jersey and the Best Young Riders classification, where in any race, because it is in a way in the last sort of however many years, when you've got, you know, how young Tadej Pogačar started winning this. In essence,
try to say that to Pogačar. You know, there's a lot of young riders around, even at Evenepoel as well. You know, they're already kind of wearing the white jersey and getting on the podium and winning the Tour de France. Tadej Pogačar was in white when he won the Tour de France for the first time, beating Roglic in the Plateau de Bay. So yeah, I think first and foremost, if you're in the car, it's about making sure that you cross off the final 12.6 kilometres, you get that stage win. But I think there's some undercurrent here. He's 20 seconds off it. You have to say, look, you're within sight of the white jersey. I don't think he's going to get 7:37 back for yellow. But I think definitely the white jersey is possible. And that's what you have to say. To have a competition jersey in the Tour de France is something to behold. We've already seen that, you know, for Tim Wellens in the King of the Mountains jersey. So this will be added inspiration and motivation for Ben Healy. He only needs another 20 seconds. Well, saying that, he only really needs another 10 seconds because he's going to get 10 seconds at the finishing line.
Yeah, what a ride he is putting in here. And he is going to join a fairly famous list of Irish stage winners in the Tour de France. Sam Bennett, the last one for Ireland, last stage winner, I feel, in the Tour de France for Ireland, 2020. So he's, what a list. Martin Early, Shea Elliott, Sean Kelly, Dan Martin, Stephen Roach, throughout history for Ireland. You can see the national champions stripes on the cuffs of his jersey.
Oh, okay.
Grew up in Birmingham, in England. Did Ben Healy, moving across as he could to race for Ireland and represent Ireland. And what a find for them, 142 back to Storer and Simmons. And it just showed that they had to be with Ben Healy when he went. The aerial shot here of our chasers. Yates, Barter, Van der Poel, Tejada and Dunbar, the other Irishman in this group. Two Irish representatives in this group here. The other man there in the purple and grey colours. 6 minutes and 43 seconds now is the gap. So Ben Healy starting the day 33rd at 7:37. The green jersey is 21 minutes and 43 seconds down. Mathieu van der Poel starting the day in 6th spot at 1 minute and 28 to Tadej Pogačar. 10.5 kilometers to go. You can see today out the toll that it has taken on the riders here in the Tour de France. The Côte de Vaudreuil will be our final categorized climb of the day. And then we have our climb up to the finish. 700 meters is the climb in Via Normandie, maxing out his averages 10.2%, maxing out at 15%. And we said when he went, as he goes through, 10 kilometers to go now for Ben Healy. It was that first big, audacious attack, and Brian Smith said it could be the first attack that wins it, and Ben Healy, with 10 kilometers to go, looks like he is going to prove that right here for EF Education Easy Post. And he's now driving this gap out. I mean, the gap here, Brian, to nearly 2 minutes to the chasers. I mean, this has been just a remarkable time Tour de France performance from Ben Healy.
It's still 9.5 kilometers to go. Mathieu van der Poel will start to get a little bit worried about, you know, this time gap. But, you know, Mathieu van der Poel is going to take the yellow jersey. But, yeah, it's been phenomenal the way he's ridden.
Healy. The daring attacks that we know he always puts in search of his victories in his career. What is going through Mathieu van der Poel's mind here as well in this chase? So looking at the run-in towards the finish as well. We run in towards Via Normandie, and it's almost a bit of a loop that we do back to the point where we turn left. So you'll have a bit of crosswind, and then so we go right turn ahead for Ben Healy, then we'll swing left through La Molière. He'll have a bit of a headwind as he sweeps, and he'll have a tailwind up the final categorized climb of the day. And then luckily for him, a bit of a tailwind up towards the finish in Via Normandie. But Storer and Simmons have not missed a beat in this chase of Ben Healy, which also makes this ride remarkable in this one, because they have been full commitment to this chase of the Irishman. Simmons looking back over the shoulder, and he goes alone. Storer reacts though from Quinn Simmons. So these two I think they might get swept up before the finish.
That's why he looked around there, didn't he? Took a long route behind Quinn Simmons and thought, right, this is going to be my best finish in a Tour de France stage. I don't want to be caught, so just, you know, acceleration now. And then Storer's going, no, I'm not riding with you if you're going to continue to do that. They have to bury the hatchet here if they want to finish second and third in the stage. I know it's slim pickings, but it's Tour de France, of course. You know, I think most people would want to kind of finish second or third rather than maybe eighth in the stage.
The board showing Ben Healy what his gaps are. 2 minutes to the chasers, 2:41 to the group of Mathieu van der Poel, 6:51 back to the group of the Maillot Jaune. And we've heard throughout the day that in terms of the Tour de France and the long game in this one, the yellow jersey could move across to someone like Mathieu van der Poel, a member of our breakaway group. Tadej Pogacar, confident as you would expect from the world champion, in that the battles in this Tour de France are going to come the real big battles in the high mountains. But it's all about, this is what the Tour de France is all about today. Attacks from riders such as Ben Healy from Ireland, getting into the breakaway. And he, with this man here in the Stars and Stripes national champs jersey of the USA, they were made multiple attempts to try and get away earlier on today in what has been two, when we get to the finish.
Guys, كما almost 5 كيلومتر نبقى 5 كيلومتر قد تورد على فرصة لايك نقدر شخصنا تواسك كسابزا فوتا تودا أرشحنا دايما budai kapan budai sumbangan naga berna jangan guys agak subscribe ka aku temi itu kena tu forsa तुम subscribe dega berna subscribe कर like भी नहीं करते काम समझ कर देगा forsa
well, it's kind of the last obstacle because the last part of the course today is 700 meters at 10.2%, so it's a bit of a real kick up towards the finish. But just keep an eye on that time sometimes, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is what he's like. Pogacar has a wee dig in this final climb just to maybe take a second or two because the time is taken on the line.
Ben Healy now rides himself into the white jersey by a couple of seconds. 6:55, that will be far from his mind here as well, as he's going after the stage with 11% gradient. You can see here on the final categorized climb of the day, there it's a category 4 climb, so just 1 point on offer at the top for the Irishman. 803 meters to go to the top, and then it will be a descent back around to loop up towards the start, to the finish of today's stage. Simmons and Storer went after Healy, but have never got close in this one today. Their gap just a touch around that 40-second mark for them. A lot of chat going on between Quinn Simmons and Michael Storer. But here they go through. 5 kilometers to go now for the finish. What a day it has been. We started out with the battle for the points in the green jersey with 179.3 kilometers to go. Jonathan Milan taking that ahead of Mathieu van der Poel and Biniam Girmay. The first categorized climb of the day. Quinn Simmons taking that ahead of Mark Hirschi. There was an attack by Quinn Simmons and Ben Healy. That was brought back. Then we had the climb of the Côte de la Raconnière with Tim Wellens taking maximum points over the top of that. The breakaways, we've had Wout van Aert and Pablo Castrillo going clear, but the big break of the day, Ben Healy, Mathieu van der Poel, Harold Tejada, Will Barter, Quinn Simmons, Eddie Dunbar, Simon Yates and Michael Storer. The gap, it took a long time to become established. Even with 103 kilometers to go, they still only had 49 seconds over the peloton. And then the search for the yellow jersey for Mathieu van der Poel, who gave it passed onto the shoulders of Tadej Pogacar yesterday, coming into today, 1 minute and 28 seconds down on the yellow jersey. But an audacious, daring attack here by Ben Healy with over 40 kilometers of the stage to go. And he is now driving here into what will be another phenomenal victory in the career of the Irishman. He has got time to spare here, but if he gets a nod, Brian, he's got to make every second count if he wants as well. He's getting the 10-second time bonus on the line, but hopefully they give him the nod that he's also chasing seconds for the white jersey.
Yeah, he's not easing up. He's giving it full throttle here, and he knows the team have already told him that he's what, 10 seconds to the best for the white jersey, and that's why he's gritting his teeth. With 4 kilometers to go, right, you can afford to relax a little bit. He's not. He's pushing hard, not just for the first stage one in the Tour de France, but also for that white jersey.
Ben Healy, 24 years old here in Normandy, and we look back and on the climb, under the pressure here, Mathieu van der Poel starting to lose contact under the pressure there of Will Barter. Ben Healy is pushing this course every last millimetre, takes a glance back on the corner. It's quite a distance between himself and the chasers, but Brian van der Poel in difficulty.
Yep. No surprise again. He's gone to the limit. He's been pushing. He's been lent on a little bit, and he has to. All he's thinking about is yellow. I did say going into this final, he would have a target in his back. It was always going to be very difficult for him. It's been a tough day, but all he's thinking about is yellow.
It's all about the hunt for the maillot jaune. And Storer attacks Quinn Simmons on the climb. Simmons had already attacked Michael Storer. And they'll take this right turn at the top. Simmons battles back. So this battle here for the podium between Quinn Simmons and Michael Storer. They look back, they're losing. Oh, got an issue at the back here.
Skelmos.
Yeah, Skelmos. Bike change for the Lidl Trek rider. 2 kilometers to go for Ben Healy. And he's still got our final climb of the day ahead of him. There's a moment here of calm where the crowds are sparse, and this is the moment here, Brian, as well, where you're kind of alone with your thoughts before he lines up for the final climb up to the finish.
I don't think he's really kind of thinking about that. Knowing Ben Healy, I think he's just focusing on just keep going, just give 100%. He already knows he's got the stage win, but just watch him in this final up to the climb into his radio. He knows he has to keep on going. If he wants that white jersey, it's full to the line.
If Ben Healy was full gas before, we know that he'll go all in now. The Irishman, 1.1 kilometres to go. The final climb, 700 metres, 10.2% average, maxing out at 15%, 2:23. The gap to the chasers, the stage win is his. The group of Van der Poel now at 3:32 and 6 minutes and 45 seconds. Back to the group of the yellow jersey. He now starts the climb. Ben Healy is about to go double figures on his pro wins. He's bold, he's daring, but this is up there, as I'd say, the most daring one yet. He's just now on these slopes, shifts through the gears here as he takes in these big punishing slopes here. 11%, 500 meters to go to the finish line. This is what we love about Ben Healy. This, the Irishman, is a ride that we are going to remember, as he will, for many, many years. It's going to be 10 pro wins and a first Tour de France stage win for the Irishman. Bold, daring. This has been a big day out. 201.5 kilometers, 3,550 meters of elevation. It is the Irishman, Ben Healy, that comes to the top here in Via Normandy. He conquers what has been one of the most savage, punishing days in the Tour de France, and we're only on stage 6. Irish eyes will be smiling this evening, and it is going to be a victory, the first of this year's Tour de France for the EF Education Easy Post team. You've got to say, Ben Healy is going to be able to take a huge bow when he gets to the top of the